untamed gold. Night's a beast, it devours the weak. Steel and fire, the language I speak. Dust in my lungs, wind in my face. Speed's my temple, this road's my grace. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the chains and let the earthquake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Ain't no cage that can hold me down. No leash, no chains, no goddamn crown. I'm a rebel, yeah, my spirit's raw. The world can't touch.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Australian NASCAR Truck Series, brought to you by CT Electrical. We're at Texas here tonight with myself and Wesley Outland in the booth, bringing you the live coverage from this weirdly, oddly shaped new oval of Texas Motor Speedway. Wes, how are you doing out there in North Carolina?
Doing well, my friend. It's a rainy, wet Thursday morning, Thursday night for you Aussie mates and mateys. But, man, we're ready to rock and roll. And let's get the chase started. The trucks are at Texas Motor Speedway, No Limits, Texas. It's time to get it rolling. Ready to see what these guys will do here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. 167 laps on tap here tonight. 40 laps the first stage, 80 laps. Another 40 for the second stage, and then to end it all off with 167 laps all the way to the finish. A little bit of a longer last stage than the first two stages. So green flag pit stops definitely going to be on tap here tonight for green flag pit stops. Going to go ahead and move on over to the standings as it sits as of right now. Top 12, you see there, Chris Bleakley in by 1 point after last week's Pocono race. Dave O with the lead. Keith Hackney in second. Brad, Angus, Josh rounding out your top 5. And everybody below that cut line, Wes, is out of the chase format, but still can be out there getting that, I guess, more track time with a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, you got guys that are really, really talented. They're in the red. But the bottom line is you've got these 12 drivers. They're going for the championship. So it's going to be fun and exciting to watch. Obviously, going to see what happens. We got four drivers from Team Nitro that are racing for the championship. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. Obviously, we're ready to see what these guys will be able to do. Should be a good one as they're gritting here at Texas. It's almost go time.
Yeah, get ready to send up the starting grid for tonight's race here at No Limits Texas International Speedway. As starting on the pole is going to be Jason Holdsworth in that number 8 Nitro machine with Adam Gray on his outside. Road number 2, starting P number 3, is going to be Scott Rankin for Vortex in third, Billy Mole in fourth in that number 7 machine. Row number 3, starting inside row P number 5, is going to be Brad Newman with Zach Kerr on his outside for Vermilion Esports. Row 4 on the inside in 7th is going to be Jared Gilbert with Tom Freer sporting a new scheme for SSR in the number 41. Row number 5, starting 9th, is going to be Kute Dal, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be Logan Kais.
Number 6, we're going to find Logan Kais. Remember, the E is silent. Kais, Logan Kais. Ben Faulkner for Team Vermilion. Aaron Borg on the outside in row number 6. Row 7 on the grid will find Riley Curtis for Nitro and Vermilion's Fitzroy Beaumont in 16. Row 7. Row 8 on the grid, you'll find Adam Briggs, followed by Dave Douglas, Double D from Nitro. He's on row 8. Row 9 on the grid, Josh Micklemore in the Nitro 31, and Vermilion's Blaine Dinsley in the FAFCON 27. Top 20, we'll find Gary Wellman for Simbor and Project 36 driver Jamie Davis in the 92.
Row number 11, starting P number 21, is going to be Brad Wright with Matt Dancy Dance in 22nd for Altus Esports. Row number 12, in 23rd position, is going to be Ross Armour and Trent Lavelle, the CT Electrical Specialist for AWR. 25th is going to be Andy Barber with Angus Lawford on his outside in row number 13. Row 14, in 27th position, is going to be Blake Fitz and Ryan Barber on his outside in 28. Row 15, running up to your top 30, is going to be Dave Owen, 29th, and Ruben Phelps in P30.
Hey, guess what? We're not done yet. Then we're going to find Timo Blundell, followed by Shane Bowen. Row 16, row 17 on the grid, Chris Bleakley, Brian Blundell. Field is finally rolling off pit road. Row 18, Aaron Dorman, Brandon Griffiths for Project 36. Let's see what Chooch will do. Then you've got Kelvin Clark, Jeffrey Sinclair. Row number 19, your top 40. Nope, nobody else. 38 trucks. That's still a really good field here. Virtual No Limits Texas. Mile and a half. The Big Hoss video board on the back straightaway. And we're ready to bring this to you. Race number 1 of the Chase. And as always, the Australian NASCAR Truck Series presented by CT Electrical. And Dylan, there's a look at the race analysis down below. So we'll be looking for a green flag this time by.
Yeah, 40 laps for stage 1, 40 laps for stage 2, and then a crisp 87-lap final stage to settle who gets the win here at Texas Motor Speedway. Pace truck diving down for the first time here at Texas. Jason Holdsworth going to lead these drivers to the green flag. It's up and waving. Barney's waving it. Great start for Jason Holdsworth. He's going to get a nice little gap on the field. Everybody whizzing by, getting him up to 4th gear into turns number 1 and 2. One of the hardest corners here at the track. A lot of braking, lifting, getting off the throttle. Don't want to run anybody over. Turns number 3 and 4, though, Wes, you can be full throttle, but just because you can be full throttle doesn't mean you need to be. A little bit of tire saving going to be going on here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Still 2-3 wide all the way throughout this pack, but it's all Jason Holdsworth up at the front.
Across the line, the complete lap number 1. By the way, the drivers that are in red are your drivers that are in the Chase. And right now, Holdsworth under attack by one of them. Here comes Brad Newman to the inside off 2. Got a caution. Yellow flag. Trouble on the racetrack. Ross Armour has crashed. The Deuce and the Elders, number 2, going around in turn number 1. First caution of the race on lap number 2 there, Dylan.
Yeah, lap number 2, getting a caution. Have some memorabilia down there in the 2 pit stall with a hood and the quarter panel missing. But here's a replay brought to you by CT Electrical. Go to see what happens to the number 2 machine. Looks like gets a little bit tight going up the track. It's going to be almost 3 wide. Oh, he does get 3 wide. Oh, Dave-O getting involved. Not what you wanted to see this early in the race. Just some miscommunication there. Maybe got a little bit tight, moved up in front of Dave-O. Just no time to react. You can see here again, he's trying to go down to the bottom. Dave-O's running right behind him. Oh, he gets a little bit loose. Gets up into Dave-O, so not what they want to see this early in the race, especially on lap number 2.
Early caution here. Boy. By the way, we were told that the law has been put down to all of the drivers, especially after some of the shenanigans that happened after last Thursday's incidents that we saw at Pocono. But I'm understanding there's a lot more stricter enforcement, if you will, Dylan. They're not going to put up with any of the kind of shenanigans we saw for our audience last Tuesday. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to keep an eye on all the way in and through this track. One thing that we didn't see here tonight was our second place in points, Keith Hackney, electing to not race Texas Motor Speedway here tonight. So that's going to put him a little bit behind the bullet going into next week's debut at Watkins Glen. So he's going to have a little bit of a hole to get himself out of that predicament. But with how many wins that he's got over the season, Wes, and how many stage wins he's got, I'm pretty sure he can get all the way up there towards the front by the end of this season.
Yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye on that as we'll get ready to try to get this thing back going here. It should be a quick yellow. I don't really see any takers per se coming down to the pit lane, and that should speed things up real quickly. I know Dave Olgenczak did come down to the pit road. So did Matt Danson, Chris Bleakley, some drivers that, well, not Matt Danson, Chris Bleakley did. Ruben Phelps also. Right now we've got Dave-O and Ross Armour on the pit lane, but other than that, it should be a quick one. We should be looking at the one-to-go indication here, and we should be ready to go back to racing here. Stage number one, we'll give stage one. You'll see there's the Ford drivers occupying the Ford F-150 stage. This will be 167 laps. This will be the same distance that the X Series ran on their chase race on Tuesday as well. 240 lap stages, and then that 87 lap final stage. And unless we get a yellow flag after yellow flag after yellow flag, Dylan, we might be looking at a possibility of green flag pit stops somewhere a lot in stage number 3, at least 1 or 2 times to determine the winner. Lights are off, 1 to go this time by.
Yeah, for me, Wes, when the Truck Series was here last week before they went to Watkins Glen, I had the opportunity to get down there on the racetrack, get a couple of official races under my belt in the open setup side. Again, these drivers running the open setup, so a little bit different than what you would see in the fixed side of things. 80 laps, the total distance for the open series. It was about 40 laps for the fixed. You could run almost about 40 laps on a full tank of fuel, but tires were definitely going to be the problem if you didn't know how to save them, especially going down into turns number 1 and 2. You got to lift so much for turns number 1 and 2. It's not like the old Texas where you can kind of go balls to the wall in all 4 corners, but with the way that the new Texas is, a little bit more lifting, a little bit more on the braking side as well down in turns number 1 and 2. You kind of want to let the truck roll down to the inside. There's a little black patch going down to the inside of turn number 1 and 2. That's where you kind of want to pick up your throttle once again, as getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Brad Newman going to lead us back to the green flag. He's going to be credited with leading this lap this time by. Jason Bolton is going to be able to get clear of Zach Kerr, but Zach Kerr is already looking to go down to the inside, but Jason Bolton blocks that move off, and now he's going to settle for P number 3.
Gaggle of traffic right there, finding it out for that spot. Now down to the inside. Here comes Holdsworth. Holdsworth will carry the one with him. Right there, keep it on. Another caution, trouble on the racetrack. We got a big stack up coming out of 4, entering the dog leg. Multiple trucks involved as Barber, Trent Lavelle, Brandon Griffiths, and others. It looks like a parking lot party coming off of 4 as they're trying to scatter and get away from it. Caution out here for the second time. Wow.
Yeah, you definitely saw all of that ended up happening. You see off the back bumper of Trent Lavelle, that CT Electrical number 67, he did not have a rear tailgate. The whole tailgate was clearly, Tom Freer in front getting it turned just a little bit. Today's Tom Freer not going to be able to get away from that incident there. Then you see there, everybody just trying to slow down, get out of the way, and everybody's scattering around, just like you were saying there, Wes. Just a lot of drivers just know where to go, especially with it being out of turns number 3 and 4. 3 wide going down in turns number 3 and 4. You see there, looks like Aaron Borg getting into the side of the 41. Looks like Angus Lawford able to get around. Jamie Davis getting involved. The 05, the 72, the 67, 45, 38 might have gotten a little bit of a piece. And just everybody being able to get on around. And, Josh Micklemore. Just a little bit of almost a miscommunication with the number 31 machine, but he was able to escape with no contact through that entire sequence going through turn number 3 and 4.
I think somebody in the chat box, I think it was David Lawler, Dylan, said RIP to 1320 Kyle. And if people does not know who that is, that is Kyle Loftus, the founder of 1320 Video. So let me just say this, obviously, because I know it's a state of shock for a lot of people in the racing industry that knew him. I had the privilege to meet him a couple of times, much less be able to work with him. We did some audio, video, picture work whenever he came down to Jacksonville and Benson with the well, I guess it was called the Street Outlaws. He was a fan of the import Street Outlaw cars, but passed away yesterday tragically. And let me just say this, and I'll say this on behalf of him and my friend Rick Eshelman as well that took his life. If there's anybody out there that is going through personal things, know that there's somebody out there that you can talk to. Reach out to somebody, whether it be me, whether it be whoever. So your friend, your family, somebody in your church, somebody on the phone, the suicide hotline people. I mean, just whoever. I just want to say that because just like Kyle, just like my friend Rick Eshelman, Dylan, these guys were very big, special people in the sport, and then they just take their own life. And they don't realize selfishly, and I say that in no bad way here, they don't realize that selfishly they're leaving behind a lot of people that really care about them. You're cared about. You're loved. Whoever you are out there, you're loved. You're cared about by somebody. Everybody out there in this world, even bad people, are still loved by someone else. So before you think of doing something that crazy, get help. 988, the suicide line. I mean, anything, Dylan. I mean, and I will say this, David, rest in peace to Kyle. Super great guy. Super great guy. I'm going to miss him. The drag racing world will not be the same again, much less what he did for import racing. And Godspeed to him. All right, Dylan, let's get this going again, my friend. Back it away. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't see somebody say to the chat box, Dylan, but he has been on my mind yesterday. And obviously, the media mogul Ted Turner passed away yesterday also.
Yeah, Steve, when I seen the Kyle Loftus thing on Facebook yesterday, I was like, oh, ain't no way. And then I actually read up on it, and super tragic. He came on the scene with 1320 Video, and that's definitely going to hit him hard because Cletus would never have gotten a start without Kyle Loftus. So prayers to Kyle and all of his family and all of his friends. And I watched the video that Cletus put out yesterday about Kyle Loftus, and for Cletus and Greg Biffle, and then now Kyle Loftus, this is definitely going to hit him a little bit harder as he's lost two of his great friends. And not even a month ago, Cletus bought Kyle a brand new Corvette ZR1 C8 outright for him, and then ended up having this tragic passion go the way that it did. So big Godspeed to his family and all of his fans out there for 1320 Video.
Way, and Kind of crazy how it happened. I know it was an accident, but there was a little more to the story of what more other people know, and it just sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. Zach Kerr up in front. 3 drivers that are in red fighting for the championship right now. Newman, Rankin, and Faulkner in the chase right there, one behind the other, as Holdsworth watches on. All this going on as they work their way again into turn number 2.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the races that you really have to watch Jason Holdsworth. Me and Jason Holdsworth last season, we put up a lot of big races. And he got me to realize that, hey, be patient, follow behind me, save your tires. And I would do that, and I'd still get mollywopped by Jason Holdsworth. He's big on Texas, saving the tires where it needed to be. It looked like one driver was in the outside wall, able to keep it straight, but looking so far, Brad Newman stuck on that outside as he's going to get passed by Scott Rankin, possibly going down into turns number 3 and 4 with lap traffic coming in by. He's going to use that truck as a pick. That's going to allow Ben Faulkner to get caught back up. But now he's got a truck down on his inside as well as Jason Holdsworth. Still trying to get around the number 28 machine, still with a lapped car down on the inside. You know, watching the Cup Series race on Sunday and then the trucks on Saturday and, you know, everything like that, Wes, in real life, it looked like the outside was a way to go to make your passes. But here as it sits right now in the early going of the stage with, you know, the tires still being somewhat fresh, everybody's just trying to be a little bit of a bottom feeder as it sits right now. But as the laps go on, you're going to start seeing these trucks go higher and higher to find the grip.
They go 3 wide for just a moment. Beaumont on the inside. Kute Dow up top. And whoa. Trucks got really squirmy there coming off that second turn as we dive into 3. Racing into the night. This is a night race. Weather conditions clear. Track temp at 74. 68 degrees in the sim. Northeast winds 16 miles an hour. That humidity around 90%. That's going to be interesting to see what it does with handling as we watch the battle work off of 2 again.
Yeah, you can see it here, you know, with everything wanting to be down on the inside there, Wes, you really got to make sure you put your truck in a right position to make sure that nobody can get underneath of you and kind of push you out of that bottom lane. See, there's Zach Kerr had to hurry up and get down to the inside and not have Brad Newman take away that inside position on the number 12 machine. And Brad Newman backing up the corner just a little bit, and then he's going to be right up on the back bumper coming off turns number 1 and 2, looking to eye up a run. He's going to take it down to the inside, but the 3 wide towards the back. Josh McLemore backs out of it. He's going to stay single file behind that 2 wide battle in front of him, but new race leader, Brad Newman back to the point, but not going to be able to get clear of the number 12 of Zach Kerr.
To the inside. Newman going after Kerr. Remember that Vermillion entry. Zach Kerr, not one of the chase drivers. He's just trying to race to win. And that's all fair. It's allowed. But can he help out his teammate Faulkner in the 28? That is his teammate for Vermillion on the inside. But nope, Brad Newman works off 4, coming to the lead as they work again off 4.
Yeah, Zach Kerr down there going into turn number 3 and 4, thought that he was cleared, went down across Brad Newman's nose, got him a little bit loose. He's going to move him up out of the way. He's going to drop down to P number 3, but here comes Scott Rankin. He's looking to make it a 2 for 1. Scott Rankin trying to get around Ben Faulkner and Zach Kerr. He's got the inside lane where he wants to be. Ben Faulkner goes from the top down to the bottom. And now you got Jason Holdsworth just following suit, doing what he needs to do with Kute Dow following right behind him. So down on the inside, you got 3 really quick trucks. You got 2 nitro entries with Kute Dow and Jason Holdsworth. And now you got the Vermillion and Vortex going battle door to door, as now they are now single file. Is a little bit of a possible 3 wide, but he's going to drop it down to 2 wide towards the back.
Newman back out in front again. Faulkner now up the second. Zach Kerr led a couple of laps. He'll now fall back to the third position. All by himself. You're exactly right. Lobs Esports all by himself there. Brad Newman.
This is definitely going to be something to see. You know, Brad Newman always fires off super fast, super quick, super consistent. But it's like towards the end of the race, something ends up happening where they got to put in adjustments for their trucks or whatever the case may be. And that's where Brad kind of tends to fall off just a little bit. Not able to get the runs in the finishes that he quite deserves. I would have thought, Wes, by the time that the chase had ended up starting, Brad would have had at least 1 or 2 wins on the season, but so far still winless in the 2026 season. But now we're looking on board with that 3-wide battle, as now single filed out to 2-wide, and now no more battles as one car going all the way back up towards the outside wall as Ben Faulkner looking to take over the race lead.
Remember, that's Zach Kerr for Team Vermilion, pushing his teammate Faulkner down to the inside, letting him get the clear. Let him go to the lead. Faulkner will go to the top spot. Got around Newman. Closing in on 15 remaining here in stage 1 at Texas. There's your Vermilion drivers. And yes, sir. You know, Dinsley, Beaumont, Kerr, they might not be in the chase, but their driver Faulkner is. You help your fellow man, especially if he's a teammate.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to have to do, especially if you want to see that Vermilion Esports team get all the way down to the final race and go for a championship here as they're getting around Trent Lavelle. And here we go, Scott Rankin trying to make a move on Zach Kerr, not going to be able to do it. And this is another thing that they got to keep in mind, Wes, is getting right up on that back bumper is going to get their car in front of you extremely loose, and even you possibly loose as well. So try to keep a little bit of air on that left front quarter is definitely going to be one thing to do for these trucks. Is Zach Kerr all over the back bumper yet again of a Brad Newman. Still going to be able to come off of turns number 1 and 2, single file. Everybody just kind of playing the long game here. They've got those couple of cautions out of their system. Now we're getting a long green flag run here. 27 laps out of 167. A big bump by the number 12 of Zach Kerr into the 1. He got to his outside. Is he going to be able to make the pass on the outside going into turns number 1 and 2?
That could have been some big trouble right there, but somehow, some way, holds it together. Keep on now. Here comes now Newman on the bottom. And all the while, Faulkner will get back up in that front spot again. Behind them, Josh Mickelmore starts to climb to the top 5 of 12 spots. Got to Scott Rankin. Logan Kai's also climbing. One little slip there. Someone bounced off the safer barrier. They hold it together. They're back in 1 again.
Yeah, looked like Logan Kai's right in front of Jason Holdsworth. Tank slap the outside wall coming off of turns number 3 and 4. Able to keep the speed on that number 349. Surprisingly, or 343, was able to keep that speed going as we look at the Nitro entries. Josh Mickelmore sitting P number 5, Holdsworth in 7th. Dave Douglas in 19th, Riley Curtis in 20th, and Dave O, our points leader, sitting 29th position on the field, getting involved in that first lap caution with Ross Armour. He just trying to rally any points that he can, get that truck fixed as much as he possibly can, and now it's still Vermilion Esports P1 and P2 over Brad Newman in 3rd.
Those are your Vermilion drivers that we mentioned, Ben Faulkner and the not Chase Misfits pushing him around, and it's all fair. Zach Kerr 1, 2, 8, and 9 right there with Dinsley and Beaumont pushing, helping. 10 to go, stage 1. Faulkner in the lead. By the way, the drivers in red on the scoring ticker. We told you we'd help you. The drivers in red are the ones that are in the chase. And I believe next week, whenever we have our race at Watkins Glen with Nigel, Dean, and myself next Tuesday for the Australian NASCAR X Series, they will be in, I believe, green scoring ticker for the Chase drivers. Look at Newman, by the way. Look at this, by the way. 32 laps to go in stage one, and Dylan Fuel is running out on Newman. Down to about a quarter of a tank left.
Yeah, definitely going to see what there's going to do here is Zach Kerr ran extremely wide in turns number 1 and 2. That's going to allow Scott Rankin to possibly look down to the inside of Brad Newman. He's going to be there. Brad Newman can't cover it off. Look at Scott Rankin to try to make a move on Brad Newman with 8 laps to go in stage number 1. Ben Faulkner still with the race lead, and they're getting ready to pass Dave O, put him another lap down. A lot of damage on that number 311. Not the way that he wanted to start out this season for the Chase. And now here we go. Are they going to be able to use Dave O as a pick? No. Dave O goes down to the inside. He gets out of the way. Smart move by a smart racer. But now you got Lobs, Vortex, and Nitro all together once again with Vermilion leading the front.
Inside, look at this push by Rankin. Scott Rankin got himself eliminated from the opportunity to run the Tuesday series chase, but he is in the trucks chase. Let's try to have a good follow for them. Keep an eye on this as now Newman trying to get the curve. And we are down to 5 laps remaining here in stage 1 on the inside. Rankin right behind Newman. He can't clear him yet on the bottom as they work off 2.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Newman wanted to do. Get these side by side. He's going to be down to the inside of Zach Kerr. Zach Kerr looks to not be able to get his truck down to the inside in turn number 1 and 2. That's going to allow Brad Newman to get there. But look at the run that Zach Kerr had on the outside. He's going to possibly take over the race lead over Ben Faulkner. Side by side for P number 1, looking maybe 3 wide. Brad Newman coming up. And now Scott Rankin looking to the outside, but here comes Josh Mickelmore. He's down to the inside of Scott Rankin.
Any move. Mickelmore trying to follow Rankin. Give him a little opening on the inside out of 4, but he can't capitalize on it. To the line, 1.5 miles here in Texas, 3 to go. And Faulkner now got company. Here comes Newman on the bottom. Zach Kerr hung out like a rag doll up on the top. He can't protect his fellow man. He'll get behind him though off 2.
And don't look now, but here comes Blaine Densley in that number 27 machine. He started towards the back. He's all the way up in the top 5. He saved his best for last as he's looking down to the inside of Scott Rankin now, and he's got an extra gear all the way up to P number 4. Oh, Ben Faulkner and Zach Kerr gets together. That's going to allow Ben Faulkner to drop down, and that's going to give the race lead to Brad and Newman. Still green, as Zach Kerr's race might be done after that hit to the outside wall. And not sure exactly what happened, Wes, but man, oh man, that was not planned for the top 2.
Side, and that, of course, is Newman. Densley now up to that second spot. Now you got Rankin and Mickelmore. Holdsworth in the top 5. Final lap, stage number 1. Truck 1 in P1. It's Newman for Lobs all by himself, leading over the back straightaway at the end of stage 1.
Yeah, Brad's got a little bit of leeway there. No draft for anybody to get to the number 1 machine. So off turn number 3 and 4 for the final time in stage number 1. Brad Newman is a stage winner here at Texas Motor Speedway. It's been a while since we've been able to call his name for a stage win, but Brad Newman finally getting one here tonight as we're possibly going to be able to get a nice little replay, see what happened to the number 12 and the number 28. But I want to say maybe he got a little bit loose being up all over the back bumper of Zach Kerr. But, you know, anything, it is Texas. You don't mess with Texas, as a lot of people would say.
Everything is bigger in Texas. Texas Hold'em, if you will. No limits. Watch this right here. This was the save of the season right now, possibly, for Ben Faulkner. Zach Kerr, he hit the wall. And then look at this, guys. Wow. I don't think he meant to do it.
Look at the evasive maneuver by Blaine Densley.
Blaine Densley in the grass, man. The pass in the grass. Watch this again.
Oh,
and look at Zach Kerr and Faulkner. They knew they had damage and they all slowed down and backed away. That's heartbreaking, but that's the way it goes right there. Watch this one more time. We're going to rewind things here for you. Watch this one more time. Look at this right here. Watch the 28 of Faulkner. Loses it off the corner on his own, hit the wall, fishtails in front of the one, slams into the driver's side door of the 12 of Zach Kerr. Kerr's got damage, Faulkner's got damage, and then they're all just fighting the truck, trying to keep from getting into Scott Rankin. They miss him, and now they're just literally, watch him on the wheel. Look at that right there, Dylan. Look at that. Look at the way he's fighting the wheel.
Oh, yeah, a lot of damage for Blaine Faulkner, just trying to keep that truck as straight and out of the way as much as possible. Very heads-up move by Ben Faulkner and Zach Kerr to just move out of the way. They know that they're under power, they're under damage, whatever the case may be. They respectfully got out of the way for all the other drivers to let them go past as quickly as possible. But now, with that being said, I wonder how much damage the 28 and the 12 both have, and if the 28's race is essentially done for as of tonight. Because, man, that was such a hard hit. And, you know, one thing we didn't say was, how about that driving by Brad Newman to not get in the back of the 28 and ship him up into the 12? Brad Newman read it. He let off, hit the brakes just a little bit to get off the back bumper and not make any contact with Ben Faulkner. So big ups to Brad Newman to not get involved in that one, as well as we look on board with the number 12 machine there relatively. And he had a little bit of damage on that rear end. He was missing a quarter panel on that left side. So he's going to have some issues going on there as we get ready to bring up the standings one more time. Keep in mind, Keith Hackney is not in this race here tonight, so he's not going to be credited last place points. So he's going to fall down maybe a little bit, maybe to third, maybe even fourth position, as he's got a 207 point towards the top. So Aaron Borg's there, Tom Freer, Scott Rankin's having a really good race, Ben Faulkner sitting P9, but with that wreck, he could go back even further. Chris Bleakley, he's up there where he needs to be. Same with Riley Curtis. So, you know, it's all up in the air after tonight.
Yeah. Remember, the further you climb in the red, I mean, the bottom line is this. This is not a playoff winning win you advance, you go on to the next round, down to 4 drivers to race for the championship. It's not like that now. You've got 12 drivers. They run a series of races for the next 6 weeks, and when that 6 weeks concludes, that will determine at Michigan who will hoist the cup. And then remember, Dylan, this is only season 1 for 2026. We take off for about a month. We reset things, and then we prepare for season number 2.
Yeah, definitely going to be something fun to watch. I mean, 12 races over 6 weeks, double headers every Thursday night. Man, who wouldn't want to see some double headers? As we're back to racing here at No Limits, Texas. Looks like Aaron Briggs ended up getting a black flag off of that restart there. Not sure exactly what happened to him, but already everybody, the intensity is up in the air. Everybody trying to get as many positions as they possibly can. And right now, it's all of Brad Newman, Blaine Densley looking down the inside of Scott Rankin, trying to take over that P number 2, as he's got some speed in that number 27 machine, not going for the championship, but looking to make his name known up towards the front.
And by the way, don't forget, once we conclude season number 2 for the X Series and the trucks, then we will have the Australian NASCAR Championships. That will be a 12 race, 6-week series, races on Tuesday and Thursday night. 12 races in 6 weeks, and the Cup car will be used, the next gen Cup car. So that will be fun to keep an eye on as we move into the later stages of the year in November, December. Right now, another caution out. Trouble, racetrack, Billy Mole around. Truck 7, lap 47. Back straight away.
Man, a meatball flag for the number 7 machine. You can see it there. The hood's kind of popped up on that number 7 machine. Not exactly sure what happened to the 7. Going to get a CT electrical replay of the incident there with Billy Mole. Not sure if maybe the fresh tires got him coming off of the corner, or if he had a little bit of contact here. Oh, Ben Faulkner got in the back of him too. Not what Ben Faulkner needed to go into turn number 1 and 2. See it here. Jamie Davis sliding up, getting into the side of the 7. Matt Dancy Dance getting around on the outside. Ben Faulkner thought he was going to keep going down, but he comes back up, and Ben Faulkner right in the rear end of the 7. Heavy contact for Billy Mole up on that outside wall. He's going to be able to park it on the outside wall and just kind of keep it there until everybody passes, gets it turned back around, and is able to drive under his own power back to pit lane.
Another look at it again is Faulkner. Well, we might have to own up to that one.
Yeah, and with how quick everything happens, in my sense, if I was Ben Faulkner, I probably would have done the same thing. You think he's going to go back down the racetrack, you're going to hold your line. You can see Ben Faulkner check up just a little bit, kind of keep that same line that he was committed to. Well, he didn't go back down. He kind of stayed right where he was, and Ben Faulkner just wrong place, wrong time. That Ford F-150, heavy nose damage. More damage to repair on the number 28 machine. Not going to be able to lose one lap. Make sure you turn the tires off. Turn everything off in the pit road so you can get as much damage fixed as he possibly can. As a lot of drivers down pit lane this time, Wes.
Yeah, we got guys spinning here. Look at these guys. You ever remember Dave Oljanczak had issues at the start of the race? Remember, he's still trying to battle back, if you will. Dave O, obviously. Let's see. Dave O's still on the lead lap, so that's a good thing, but he's still taking time to fix it. It's basically, nice way of saying this, guys. There's no fast repairs in this series. These drivers are going up what they call the vehicle, the damaged vehicle policy, right? The DVP clock, like NASCAR does, where it takes time to fix the damage. Well, because there's no fast repairs. Fast repair means you get a manual reset. You're back to a 100% settings. This series does not do that. So, depending on how badly damaged you are and you don't take your engine out, if you will, Dylan, then you can take time to try to get things fixed. And as we're heading to lap number 50, just starting off stage number 2, another 40-lap stage, that will be the case for some of these guys here.
Yeah, absolutely. With them not having that manual reset, like you said, with the fast repair, it kind of takes your driving to a different level. Me personally, I love the no fast repair rule. It makes you drive a certain way, make sure that you take care of your equipment. When you have leagues that have the faster pairs, you're going to have the people that drive way over their head and way over their abilities. And then they can wreck everybody and not have any repercussions for it because they know they can go down into pit lane and get a fresh new car, come back out there and do it all over again. So not having a faster pair really takes the driver to the machine and seeing what they can do with a fresh and clean truck. I've been a part of it for going on 2 years now with the Australian NASCAR Series. I ran in the truck series. I got into many wrecks, involved in many wrecks. I've taken people out. I've been taken out. It's definitely a give and take situation, especially coming to Texas where, you know, you're higher speeds, you're not on throttle, or you're not off throttle a lot of the times, and then you got to have a lot of give and take, especially getting down to the inside.
Bill to get ready for a restart. Newman, Rankin, couple of Chase drivers on the front row, the 1 in 59. Chevrolet, Toyota, Dinsley, Mickelmore, Oaksworth, Lawford, back at the top 5, back at here in Texas. Under 30 remaining in stage 2.
That inside lane, West, got a really good jump over Scott Rankin on that outside. Move Jason Holdsworth up to P number 3 as it sits right now. Mickelmore in 5th, trying to get himself up there, 4-point contention. He's got Lawford down to his inside. He's going to try to make himself up there into P number 5. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to the Highline HQ so you guys don't miss anything that we have on Tuesday nights with the X Series and Thursday nights with the trucks. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so you guys don't miss anything that the Highline HQ has to offer each and every single week with myself and Wes Outland and Dean in the production booth, giving you guys the great calls of the truck in the X Series.
Nigel Siddell as well, man. Enjoy working with Nigel on Tuesday night. And by the way, if there's any iRacing leagues out there you're interested in wanting to have Highline broadcasting stream, and I think Jason was telling me it's for free, reach out to them, let them know, and they'd love to put something together for you. So 13 of 40 in stage number 2 for the Australian NASCAR Truck Series lid lifter for the Chase. And Newman right now leads the field, snaking their way through turn 4 into the dog league and back into turn 1. Here comes Holdsworth and Dinsley. They're going to poke to the inside.
Yeah, Holdsworth able to hold strong on that outside, Wes. He's going to be able to get that run off of turns number 1 and 2, back down in turns number 3 and 4. He's got a little bit of a gap between him and Dinsley. And now here comes Mickelmore. Mickelmore down to the inside and getting around Scott Rankin for that position. He's going to be able to get around, be single file all the way through this racetrack. And now Blaine Dinsley looking down to the inside of Jason Holdsworth once again. But that outside run, he's going to pinch him down on the exit. He's going to keep it maybe. Now Blaine's got a little bit of a run on Jason Holdsworth. Now the top 5 all under a blanket. Who's going to make the move first? They're still going to be side by side. Mickelmore on the out.
Is the chase for the championship, round 1 tonight here at Texas. And look at this battle. There's Mickelmore. Kind of an up and down roller coaster season for the inaugural X Series champion last year. Since then, it's been sour on the Nitro number 31. That can change tonight as he pulls up in front of another Nitro truck of Jason Holdsworth.
Yeah, consistency is definitely going to be key, especially since it's not a win and you're in type situation. You really have to be consistent. The playoff points are really going to be in your favor. The more playoff points you have, the better off you are going through the championship series, as we are here for round number 1 at Texas. The biggest loop and biggest curveball for a lot of these drivers is going to be next week at Watkins Glen. 10 turns left and right, off-track limits, all the way in and through the track. Jason Holdsworth a little bit loose on that outside with Angus Lawford all over the back bumper, able to keep it under control. Now Scott Rankin looking down to the inside of Angus Lawford with Fitzroy Beaumont in the number 16. Not somebody you see up towards the top half of the leaderboard. Fitzroy Beaumont showing his stuff here early in this Texas race.
somebody you don't normally see up there right now, and happy to see him, right? Angus Lawford, up and down kind of season for him. Climbing 21 spots. Ruben Phelps, by the way, the 06 Chevrolet, my recently new Aussie Facebook friend. He's up 22 spots in 8th position. Brandon Griffiths up there in the 36, up 25 spots. He's in 11th. There's some high climbers here now. And notice all the red villains scattered all down the scoring column right now.
Yeah, you know, it makes it even better when you see people like Ruben Phelps and Blaine Densley or Angus Lawford, Fitzroy Beaumont, Adam Gray, and the Barbers. Seeing those drivers that are normally not up towards the front in the regular season, seeing them strut their stuff into the playoffs and putting themselves in position where they're up towards the front, it's kind of a big confidence booster in yourself to say, hey, you know what, I do have the speed. If I just put the time in and keep my nerves calm, cool, and collected, I can be in position to get a race win or even possibly finish top 3 in the race at hand that they're going to as of tonight. But Josh Micklemore moving himself up to P number 2. Angus Lawford up to 3rd. Top 3 are going to be all playoff drivers as it sits right now. And then you got the Scott Rankin in the number 59 machine sitting P number 5. The only non-playoff driver in the top 5 is going to be Blaine Densley, the number 27. He's shipping it on down to the inside, trying to get around the number 52.
Densley inside of Lawford. Look at Lawford power his way down to 3rd. Got around Holdsworth and Densley. By the way, I know that Jason doesn't like to talk about him a lot, but I do want to say this. He is on a milestone of heading to 200 starts in the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. 4 races away. This is start 196 for him tonight.
Jason Holdsworth doing what he needs to do. The most consistent driver with the amount of starts, top 10s, top 5s, when he's able to make his races out here tonight. As Brad Newman searching for win number 17, I do believe, in the Truck Series. The most winningest driver in the series as of right now. But Wes, with the way that this season has gone, you wouldn't think that he's the most winningest driver in the series, as he's been kind of finishing top 2, top 3, maybe even top 10 of the season. Just hasn't had the speed and the pace to keep up with Dave-O, Keith Hackney, Angus Lawford, and others, as it's all been Keith Hackney, Dave-O with the most wins of the season this season so far. But Brad Newman coming here at Texas tonight trying to show that, hey, this is the way, this is the reason why I am a Truck Series champion, and I want to make it a back-to-back season here in the Truck Series.
To the inside, by the way, 15 to go. 15 to go here in stage number 2 as Nitro's Micklemore gets a nice hello to the inside from Lawford. Plenty of room given. Rankin wants to follow in do-si-do, if you will, as they two-step part of the fun in Texas, up the banking into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, you can see there Jason Holdsworth giving a little bit of room between the 52, the 59, and the 31, and just in case if these 3 decide to tango with each other, he wants to have some room to maneuver to get around as Angus Lawford kind of slides up the racetrack. They're going to be 3 wide coming off of turns number 1 and 2. Here comes Scott Rankin down to the inside. Who's going to get it? Still 3 abreast, and here comes Jason Holdsworth going to try to make it 4 wide going into turns number 3 and 4.
You say, beam me up, Scotty. Here we go. To the inside. Look at Holdsworth now. Watching all of this going on behind him. He's trying to decide where you go. Up in front of him, I meant to say. Newman, Rankin, Mickelmore, Lawford, 4 drivers in the chase, fighting it out. There goes the big Haas video board. Get out of the way screen, and look at them go 3 wide again. Watch Beaumont up the middle. And the inside is Lawford stuck in the middle lane. Holdsworth up top. Where do you go? Racing everywhere, Dylan.
Oh yeah, racing happening everywhere. Fitzroy Beaumont saw his hole, took it. He's like the Carson Hocevar, as you could say, going in here at Texas. You leave a hole, he's going to fill it. That's exactly what Fitzroy Beaumont did. He saw the hole, he took the advantage of that hole, and able to make it work all the way in and through. Zach Kerr going one more lap down. He's staying out of the way, and Fitzroy Beaumont is not done. He wants to get some more positions. He's now to the inside of Josh Mickelmore. Blaine Densley able to get around as we have another caution on the racetrack.
Yeah, yellow flag is out, guys. We got a trouble there. It's Blake Fitz that's crashed. Ruben Phelps might have got a piece of it. Blake Fitz is the biggest issue there, the 686. Putting us under yellow flag. Blake Fitz, yellow flag.
Oh, Aaron Borg.
Oh, look at this. Wow.
Checked up.
NASCAR Fitz. Blake Fitz, NASCAR Fitz. What's this? Oh, boy, up ahead. We got a truck. Is that Aaron Borg? Yeah, Aaron Borg
and Shane Bowen.
Yeah.
Well, there was a truck in front of him getting up in the outside wall. So he kind of slowed down just a little bit, getting himself slowed. Oh, here we go.
No, well, here's the deal. Ruben Phelps got loose coming out of 4. It caused the other white and red truck to get evasive on the binders. And in doing so, that is where Fitz goes around. Whatever truck that is right there, I want to say it's Aaron Borg. Is it Scott Rankin?
No, Scott Rankin was up towards the front.
Yeah, the trucks look a lot alike. So we got to figure out what truck it is there. Oh. And they're all pitting too. Yeah, I'm trying to think who it is. I just, my mind is... Whoever this truck is right up front, right here. Look, watch this one. Whoever this one is, we can't see the number because it's got sim motion all over it.
I thought it was. I mean, Shane Bowen's right behind him.
Yeah. All of our camera angles, and here's the problem. Put the number on the side of your doors, people. I mean, I know you're promoting sim motion and this and that and everything else, but put the numbers on the side of your doors. This is a prime example of why we cannot see what happened because there's no numbers on the door sides. And if you want to promote your sponsor, put the number on the back of the rear panel. And we can't figure out what truck it is. And we're going to 1 to go. And we did our detective work as best as we could. Can we get a welfare check on Zach Kerr? Zach Kerr is... Oh, hell, he's all the way in the back. Yeah, he's 26th. He's in 26th. Yeah. No. Somebody just asked if we could get an update of where the 12 is. That's all. Yeah, but they were just asking in the chat. So he's in the back, way in the back. Whatever truck it was part of the Sim Motion team. I can tell you that much.
You know, Wes, for us having 38 drivers out here and only having 4 taking it behind the wall and packing it up for next week at Watkins Glen, it's been fairly clean. I mean, we've had 2 really good green flag runs, followed by a couple of cautions here and there, but
man, don't
to
jinx
have
it.
34 drivers still out here racing is
don't
a
jinx
feat
it.
in
Don't jinx
itself.
it.
Okay, yeah.
Don't jinx it because this is the same thing that happened on Tuesday night. That's all I'm going to tell you. Back underway, green flag.
Yeah, looking at it right now, Brad Newman able to get away. Blaine Densley able to get that single file wide down to the inside. And here comes Josh Micklemore, maybe looking down to the inside of Scott Rankin. Not going to be able to be there as it sits right now. Get everybody back in line where they need to be. Micklemore lost a little bit of time on that inside lane, but here comes Angus Lawford, our winner from Bristol Motor Speedway. He's trying to get himself up there, but here we go. Pass for the race lead is going to be Blaine Densley down on the inside. He's got the help from Scott Rankin of the 59. Side by side, Brad Newman going to try to pinch him off just a little bit, but no. Brad Newman backed out of it. Let him have the lead. Let Blaine Densley get a taste of the lead in leading a lap here at Texas Motor Speedway.
5 remaining here in stage number 2.
What does Brad Newman do? He wants to sweep both of these stages, get as many points as he possibly can, catapult himself up towards the front of this leaderboard for the championship racing here in the playoffs. He's currently sitting P number 2. He's got a nice little run. He's going to be all over the back bumper of the number 27 machine, but how much and where is the 27 going to lose a little bit of time and show his weakness for Brad Newman to take over that position? Fitzroy Beaumont looking to make it 3 wide. He backed out of it. He's going to try to stick it 3 wide through the middle. And here comes Ben Faulkner towards the back. He's going to get involved with the number 777, Kelvin Clark. They're going to be 3 wide. Jason Holdsworth stuck in the middle.
Faulkner trying to climb back out of the cellar and get back up out of the dogfight. 3 remaining. Remember, Faulkner lost crucial points in stage number 1 after contact with his teammate, Zach Kerr, as a matter of fact, and he had to find his way back, and he's doing the same thing right now as Newman under attack. Open the door to Scott Rankin to the inside. He's there. Put him in second. Closing on 2 to go here in stage 2.
Yeah, that's going to allow Angus Lawford to maybe get in the inside of Brad Newman. Look at Brad Newman all over the back bumper of Scott Rankin. He's going to look down to the inside. I thought maybe Scott Rankin and Brad Newman were going to have a little bit of an issue there going through the dog leg of the start-finish line, but Brad Newman backed out of it. He's going to let him have that position as it sits right now, and here comes Fitzroy Beaumont looking down the inside of Angus Lawford. Everybody going around the way they need to do, but here comes Ben Faulkner. New truck, who dis? Here he comes, number 20. Bleakley goes around, caution flag across the start-finish line.
22 in the 77 involved. That's Chris Bleakley's truck. One of the Chase drivers got into it with another machine. The 777 of Calvin Clark. And the caution out. Watch this again. Yellow flag. Oh, boy, oh, boy. The 57 as well of Adam Gray. Watch this again. Nowhere to go. Wow.
The rear of that truck ended
Have
up
a
coming in the air.
Vegemite sandwich. He said, are you speaking my language?
Well, on the back of the number 57 Vegemite truck, it does say Vegemite stops Rams, so there's that.
Vegemite will stop anything. Vegemite.
Oh, Dave Douglas being involved
Oh,
as well.
wow.
Not what he wanted to see either out of that front windscreen. So that's going to be the end of stage number 2. Densley is going to be the winner of stage number 2. So nice little stage points. First time stage winner for Blaine Densley, the number 27 machine. 4 tires and fuel for a lot of these drivers. And then now, Wes, it's all about the long green flag run. 87 laps to end this race here tonight.
Will we get that, though, Dylan? That's the
Yeah.
question. We might see a plethora of cautions. Barney's hand might fall off from waving the Banana Republic flag too much. And if you don't know what the Banana Republic flag is, it's yellow. Dylan, I think the coolest thing, well, I don't want to per se say if it's cool or not, Dylan, but I was watching, speaking of flagmen, I was watching highlights of the World of Outlaws on my World Racing Group account because, I do stuff with dirt car, and they were at Lincoln Speedway Tuesday night. Lincoln Speedway in Lincoln, Pennsylvania. Dylan, did you know that they have done away with a flagman at Lincoln Speedway? They have, and it's crazy as hell, there is no flagman in the flag stand. There is an LED board that lights up green, yellow, red, black. When they come to 2 to go, you see a guy pointing sticks out like a little graphic showing 2 to go. When the white flag waves, you see the white screen, you see checkered flag. There is no flagman in the starter stand. It is all AI generated.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
No.
It's crazy.
The best part about going to the racetrack is watching the flagman get into it when he's waving the green flag, the checkered flag, the white flag, 2 to go, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Barney's not real, but he's a flagman, though. I mean, it looks like he's doing a real job, though, Dean. So I'm not picking on Barney. I'm defending Barney. I'm defending all flagmen of the world. Not picking on any flagman out there. Get rid of the AI nonsense. I'm up here, buddy. Here, I'm giving you the double bird. You see me? You see me right here?
Hashtag. Oh, now we need the famous hashtag.
Stand. Leave me alone.
now we need the famous hashtag. Hashtag Where's Wesley?
That's right. That is my famous hashtag. Here's true story. This is how it started, Dylan, as we go back for a restart. I started doing promotional stuff with CrateInsider.com, and we did something like a Where's Wesley. And here's the deal. We had a bet going on. It was a stupid bet. We come back to green, by the way. This is stage number 3. Let's do it. I had a stupid bet going on, Dylan, and the deal was that if I lost the bet, I was going to have to dress up like Waldo at PRI. So I lost the bet, and I dressed up like Where's Waldo, Where's Wesley, and Where's Wesley stuck. And I just use it for all my stuff. Where am I? Where is Wesley at? Where will you find me? And then Racing America and Speed 51 started doing segments. When I was doing work on MAV TV, there were segments on the broadcast called Where's Wesley. I'd be up on the top of the spotter stand. I'd be in the pace car. I'd be on the flag stand. I would be in the spotter stand. There was all sorts of things at the concession stand, obviously. So, yeah, Where's Wesley?
Well, it actually fits very well as right now, Scott Rankin down to the inside of Jason Holdsworth taking over P number 2, but don't look now. Dave O is back in the fight, got his laps back, got the damage fixed. He's currently sitting 10th, looking to make his way up towards the front. And look at this move. 3 wide through the bottom. He's trying to take it over Ben Faulkner and Riley Curtis on his outside. Still going to be side by side with Ben Faulkner. It was Riley Curtis leading us back to the green flag. Riley Curtis has fell back since then. And now it's all the number 27 of Blaine Densley with a commanding lead over Jason Holdsworth, Brad Newman, Scotty Rankin, Dave-O, who's made his way up to P number 5 in just one lap, 10th to 5th, 5 positions for the number 311.
And they got them fireworks started. Oh, it's on now, baby. Down to the inside. And look at this push. Newman now setting his sights on Blaine Densley. What a quiet season for the 27. Just missed the mark of getting into the chase. By the way, Project 36, they're on the hunt, by the way. Keep an eye on those guys. They're climbing into the top 10, Dylan, as Densley leads them in the corner. Dave-O's on the hunt, too. He's up to 4th for Nitro.
Yeah, look at this. The EKG started towards the back, all the way back by 30th position, made his way all the way up to 10th, then dropped all the way back and stayed down there towards the middle part of this race. Got all that damage fixed after being involved in that first lap caution. And so far, he's up to 5th position. Well, 4th now, as it sits right now. And he is a man on a mission at the beginning of the season, Wes. Remember, we took prediction on Dark Horse and favorites. Dark Horse was going to be Keith Hackney for me. Favorite, obviously, was going to be Brad Newman. It's looking like Brad Newman is going to start showing his stuff now that the championship season has started here in the Australian Truck Series. But can never count out that 311 of Dave-O or Keith Hackney, or even possibly Matt Danson. Matt Danson normally doesn't show his stuff till later in the race, right to the last second. He's been there and able to try to get his next win knocked off of his calendar, just hasn't been able to get there towards the end of the season.
Patience, Grasshopper, patience, my friend. Watching these guys pushing it down to the inside. Watch it to the bottom. And Densley now knows he's got 4 chase drivers behind him. Pick and choose your lane, where you go, who you race with, how tough you race them as well. That's another thing that's going to be key. Patience, patience, patience.
Yeah, patience is definitely going to be a big thing here, especially at Texas. You know, you don't want to use your stuff up within the first 10 laps, then you're going to look like Riley Curtis falling back towards the back of the field. So you definitely kind of want to pace yourself the way that you need to. Dave-O has paced himself, got himself up there towards the top 5, got all those positions fairly early, and now he's kind of set on cruise control. Doesn't want to make the moves too egregious to where puts himself in a bad spot again like it did in the beginning of the race. Now he's kind of content running P4. He's in the money. He's in the position to get even better points at the end of this race. But I know he also wants to chase down that next win on the series schedule.
Excuse me, coming through, and he'll take that spot.
Oh, Scotty tried making it down to the inside. Brad Newman ended up cutting off the run from the number 59. And now here we go. Dave-O all over the back bumper, but Ben Faulkner, after those 2 incidents in the first stage and stage number 2, has made his way up to 5th position or 4th position. As top 4, as it sits right now, are all playoff drivers. Newman, Rankin, Oljanczak, and Faulkner take out your top 4.
Looking high, looking low. 6 of the chase drivers are now in the top 10. Newman, Oljanczak, followed by Faulkner, Rankin. Then it's Micklemore, Lawford in 6 and 7. What solid runs, by the way, for Densley, Holdsworth, Beaumont, and even David Douglas for Nitro. Dylan got a good solid run for him as we close in on under 75 to go at Texas.
Hey, you know, there's no quit in that number 311. There's no quit in the number 28. 28 and the 311, you could have written them off earlier in this race saying, oh, no, they're not going to be up there towards the front and battling for a race win here tonight. But look at this now, Wes. 72 laps to go. The two drivers that got involved in the most incidents, in the most crashes here tonight, are now sitting P2 and P3, chasing down Brad Newman in that first position. Brad Newman's got a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of draft from the number 311 on that number 1 machine, but it's a little bit different to catch him than it is to pass him.
Kitty. Dave-O. And watch this now. Scott Rankin trying it out. Makes the decisive moves on to Micklemore. Micklemore up top side now. There's Rankin on the bottom. And while that goes on, Dinsley and Lawford are also having a little race amongst themselves. 70 to go, all 4.
Yeah, Scott Rankin down to the inside of Josh Micklemore, not able to get clear. Micklemore's not able to get clear either. Still going to be side by side. And with it being side by side like this, you also got to wonder who's burning up more tire trying to stay side by side with each other. Is it Micklemore on that outside, or is it Scott Rankin down on the inside trying to keep it down to the inside so he doesn't drift up into Micklemore? As now they're going to be side or single file through turn number 3 and 4. And this is where you put all your chips in towards the end of this race. You can go full throttle through turns number 3 and 4, but now a bigger battle for the race lead. Brad Newman drives it off into turns number 1 and 2. They get back up on the throttle, 164 mile an hour through the corners, and that's where Brad Newman pulls away off of turns number 1 and 2. But 3 and 4, this is where Dave comes alive. It gets right up on the back bumper of Brad Newman. And then down in turns number 1 and 2, Brad Newman ships it into 1 and 2 just to get a little bit of buffer between him and Dave-O.
And down to the outside now. I guess we could say up on the outside as well, because it's not on the bottom, it's on the top. Now they go to the inside. As Dave-O will follow. Remember what happened to Dave Olgensack, the Greenville, South Carolina driver. He had problems earlier. Raced his way from the back, climbing in 6 of the 10, all in the chase now. There is Newman. Notice also, Dylan, they're not forcing the RPMs. They're not pushing these trucks to the limit right now. You're noticing that.
Oh yeah, they're taking their time. They want to get as much fuel out of this truck as they possibly can to make it short run adjustments all the way towards the end of this race. I could see them maybe pitting with, I don't know, let's say 30, maybe 20 laps to go, getting themselves up into a position where they can throw in those major adjustments for the end of this race, and then see what these trucks can do. They're going to trim them out just a little bit more than what they are trimmed out as of right now. They're going to pretty much put in qualifying trim for those last 20 to 30 laps of this race. So these trucks are going to be a little bit more quicker, more agile in through the corners. They're going to have a lot more grip as the truck's going to be lowered to the ground, so more downforce for a lot of these drivers. And here comes Scott Rankin down to the inside, but a caution flag is waving once again. Brian Blundell, Adam Gray, and Kelvin Clark all going off track. I'm going to see exactly what happens here. Tom Freer gets it stopped as Riley Curtis had to do the little do-si-do. Same with Ryan Barber.
Tom Freer, Riley Curtis trying to pull away here. Caution out. Jamie Davis, Kelvin Clark also involved. Lap 102, and watch this again. And are we going to see guys come down pit road as well? Look at this. Oh, Curtis in the grass and the 92 around. Jamie Davis and others. Wow, there it is. So my question is this. Are they going to come down pit road, Dylan? Do you think they're going to pit, right? They all pitted at lap 80. It's lap 103, 104. Will they come down pit road, or are they still got plenty of tread and fuel to go?
I mean, I think it might be a split decision between the entire field. I mean, you ran 20-ish laps on those set of tires. You can get a good 40 laps out of them, but it's all about how hard you pushed your truck in the beginning of that first little stint of that 20-lap run. So I think it's all going to be split decision between the entire field.
They are pitting. Look at that. Dylan, the question that I asked just got answered.
I think the majority of it is whatever the leader does, you're going to have to do, because obviously the drivers being up in the front, having the clean air, doing what they needed to do, are going to be the ones that you want to fall off of and do exactly what they're doing. Me personally, if I was out there running, if I was out there running, and me, I don't like to burn my stuff up early in the long run, I would have just waited patiently. Me, I probably would have stayed out just to be on the safe side and use that to my advantage, because no matter what, they're still going to have to pit one more time. So if you can make your fuel and your tires last, then you don't have to worry about pitting again. Granted, you're going to be behind the bullet with one less tire on, same with fuel, but you're going to have that tire for the later part of the run, as where everybody that just pit could potentially be out of tires for that last final pit stop.
Remember, who's saving? Who did save a set of tires? Because, Dylan, I don't think we're done seeing cautions. The intensity really ratcheted up there once we got to green. Could we see more yellows? And who's saving? Who has an ace in the hole, if you will? A set of tires on pit road. Match delicious to use if a yellow comes out late. Just saying.
Yeah. Trey Lavelle able to get the wave around. Same with Logan Kai is getting the wave around as well. So those two drivers getting waved around the pace truck going to bring up the rear of the field. And, you know, now you got Dave O in the mix. You have Ben Faulkner in the mix. You've got Angus Lawford. You got Jacob or Josh Micklemore. The top six, all playoff drivers, all in red. And then you got Matt Danson making his way up to P number 10. So all those drivers that you see up there towards the top. Tom Freer, he's towards the back. Matt Danson is sitting 10th on the standings and in the actual race. Angus Lawford is sitting 6th. Aaron Borg not having the race that he wanted to have. Riley Curtis is not either. Chris Bleakley, as you've seen earlier, got involved in that incident on the front stretch. His day might be done depending on how bad the damage was. Brad Newman currently leading. Dave O sitting 2nd. There's going to be a big points shakeup after tonight's race.
Green, green, green.
Flag now, closing in on 60 to go here in Texas.
Okay, see it there. Top two able to get away from the rest of the field. Dave O all over the back bumper of Brad Newman. Everybody else behind him still side by side, and there it is. There's the caution, Wes.
Wow. There's Barber. The 0-5. Ryan Barber, caution out. Watch this again.
Yeah, Ryan Barber not having a tailgate on the back bumper of that number 05 machine. That's going to make the truck extremely loose. going through the corners, especially with the high speed that we're going to be able to see here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. I want to thank everybody at CT Electrical with Bathurst coming on board to sponsor this series for the truck series. Big thanks to Trent Lavelle and the number 6-7. Beautiful truck out there on the truck as well. So if you guys need any electrical work out of Bathurst, make sure you guys get a hold of Trent Lavelle, and he can get you guys set up for all your CT electrical needs.
I'm not watching anything. You're hearing crickets or something, dude. Or seeing people pit. And the back pitters are coming in from the top 20. They're on pit road. So, yeah.
Yeah, you see them all going into pit lane this time by maybe just taking some more fuel, getting the fuel added up in there, as you see there. The number 4 of Timo Blundell able to get in out of pit lane. Everybody else just taking some fuel, fueling up as much as they possibly can. We're only on lap 109 out of 167, so less than 60 laps to go in this race. Still have to make another green flag pit stop, but I think if we ended up having another caution with less than 40 to go, that's when we'll see everybody go down, take their last set of tires if they have them, fuel up the truck as much as they possibly can, and then we're going to see nobody else go down into pit lane for the rest of the race due to if they don't have any damage.
And again, we just hinted on the fact of who saves a set of tires, who's got something, right? I mean, listen to that. Do you hear that? Brad Newman's cut his truck off. Do you hear that, Dylan?
I do not hear that.
He's cutting his truck off, dude. He's coasted.
Hey, any way you can save fuel is definitely what you're going to have to do here. The 300 RPM, that's him cutting the engine off completely as it sits in idle. The idle is going to be 1180 for the actual idle speed. 300 means he's got his foot on the clutch, no engine power, and there it goes. Saving as much fuel as Brad Newman possibly can, which is legal. You can do that whenever you need to. But you know what's really even harder, Wes, is trying to do that while you're racing and trying to keep up with speed. You know, you can do a lot of different things to save a little bit of fuel. Riding 3/4 throttle down the back stretch, the front stretch, clutching throughout the corners. But it's a lot harder than it is to do under green than it is under caution.
Going to Watkins Glen next week, by the way. Don't forget the X Series and the trucks are going to Watkins Glen. There it is. Dover Motor Speedway on the way. Charlotte, Nashville, Michigan. All fun tracks, all intermediate tracks after the road course to determine the Chase Championship for Season 1. All right.
Yeah.
Settle them up, Joe. What do you think? Dylan, let's go back to green, buddy.
Brad Newman, Dave O, going to lead these drivers.
Green flag.
Another good restart by the top 2, able to get away from the rest of the field, but Brad Newman going to be able to get clear of Dave O. Big power move from the number 1 machine down into turns number 1 and 2. Top 2 going to be able to do what they did last restart. 4 wide coming off turns number 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, excuse me. Towards the back, but the battle's still up front between the top 2. And here we go. Dave O trying to get around Brad Newman. Lost a little bit of time, but coming off turns number 3 and 4, not going to gain. And here we go. Top 2 still battling for that position. Dave O trying to do the unthinkable. Go from the back to the front challenge here at Texas.
O's done it. Just saying, pardon the pun. He climbed to the front. After having problems at the start, he worked this all the way back up to the second again. And now look at this, Matt Danson. Never count out the Altus Engineering entry. This guy's into the top 10.
Yeah, looking at it now, Wes, on that scoring ticker, if Matt Danson gets around Fitzroy Beaumont, it's going to be top 7. And here we go. Top 7 is going to be all playoff drivers.
Danson,
Super.
a former Australian NASCAR champion, ANC champion, remember. And now he has put himself in the fight. Look at Faulkner climb back up there again, just waiting patiently. All this going on now as they work their way in the corner. And you know, Dylan, this was the reason why the chase was created. The best of the best 12 to duke it out and fight it out. This is what they're doing right now.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody doing what they need to do, showing their stuff, being aggressive where they need to be. And, you know, you never want to count yourself out. Just because you have that caution early in the race and you get involved, just go down pit road, get that damage fixed as best as you possibly can, and get back out there, and you can be like Dave-O, or you can be like Ben Faulkner, that have got into 1 or 2 incidents all night long, had a lot of damage, and you could be like these two where it looks like Danson now currently sitting at P number 9, so he lost a few, but Ben Faulkner made his way all the way up to P number 2, and then you got Dave-O making himself all the way up to P number 2, and then you had Ben Faulkner making himself all the way up to 3rd, but he has fallen back to 5th as it sits right now, or 7th, excuse me. But still, anything can happen in any of these races. You can never count yourself out if it's too early.
$50 laps to go now, down to the inside. Here comes now Rankin. To the bottom. Beaumont now, right in the middle of this battle. 4 trucks in the front, 3 in behind. Wow.
See it there, Dave-O able to hold off Josh Micklemore. Ben Faulkner looking to make a move on Angus Lawford, not going to be able to, but here comes Scotty Rankin out of the inside. Scotty doesn't care. Take me to the fair. I'm going for 3rd. Here we go. Not able to get clear of Josh Micklemore. Side by side for 3rd place.
Okay, Rankin on the inside. Micklemore now back up there again. These are all Chase drivers. Says, well, we got trouble. Couple of trucks following down the pylon. It's Andy Barber. Crashing. Lap number. You know what? That's the truck that crashed right there. Andy Barber. And I bet you, Dylan, that was the truck that we missed earlier. And I will say this. If you look carefully, you can see a USA red, white, and blue 184 on the side of this truck. I bet you that was the guy that we were trying to find out earlier about. There it is. Is that
Matt
Danson?
Danson?
Oh, my God, it's Matt Danson. Wow.
Was it Micklemore?
It was the end of Jason Holdsworth, guys. It was Holdsworth. Holdsworth got loose. And Danson tagged him. And then look at Griffiths. Griffiths misses it.
Shane Bowen.
And nowhere to go. T-bone shot.
Dave Douglas.
Holdsworth in the 8, guys. Look at this. Look
Shane
at Project
Bowen.
36. Griffiths gets by, and then he gets darted. Douglas and the 38 also get together and make contact. That's Dave Douglas and Shane Bowen. By the way, pit stops. Everybody's on pit road, Dylan. Look at this.
So everybody back down pit road, and Wes, this is definitely going to be the time to do it. 47 laps to go in the rest of this race. Tires going on for Brad Newman. Tires going on for everybody. And you're going to see Ben Faulkner going to beat Brad Newman out of pit lane.
Unbelievable.
You want to talk about a shakeup? Ooh. You know, with how much time has he got there, I wonder if Ben Faulkner tired.
Goal only for
Oh,
Ben Faulkner. Wow.
you know, this could be the move of the race, though, because if they have another caution with, let's say, 20 to go, Ben Faulkner's going to be in the money because everybody else took their last set of tires. Unless Ben Faulkner's out of tires, Ben Faulkner could potentially win this race if there's another caution with, I'd say, with at least 20 laps to go. You got to give her time to get back up through the field and, let the tires do the magic, but I don't know. We're going to find out here in shortly 46 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway.
You know what? I don't think we're done crashing, guys. I mean, I know this is the 9th yellow flag of the race, but I think we've turned up the wick. And I think Ben Faulkner knows it. I think that's the reason why he just took on fuel. And here's something else to think about, guys. He might be out of tires. Faulkner might be out of tires. There might not be no more tires on the 28 left anymore, Dylan.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something. Or see who's got tires, who doesn't. But, either way, it's definitely going to be a good run to the end, no matter which way it ends up going. You may never know. Ben Faulkner might not have used much tire wear on that little bit of a green flag, and he potentially come away with a race win. So, definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. You got Ruben Phelps in the number 06 on his outside. So, a completely different front row for this restart. So, Ruben Phelps, his highest that he's been up here in P number 2. Ben Faulkner was the race leader in stage number 1, had that incident with Zach Kerr getting off the outside wall, then hitting Zach Kerr. So they're going to bring him back around, bring out of the race. Ben Faulkner leading them back to the green flag. He's out like a missile, and here we go. Brad Newman already looking down to the inside of Ruben Phelps. There's Dave O.
Back in her way. Oh, trouble, guys. Truck sideways. And they get corrected, and they keep going, and we stay green. The 72 of Adam Briggs. Unbelievable. Look at this one of traffic behind them. And they all stay good in the rush hour storm in 3. Wow.
And here we go. Ben Faulkner with the race lead, and here comes Dave O. Look at the run that Dave O's getting. Is he going to be able to make it work? Here he goes, 3-1 race lead. Down to the inside. Here comes Scotty Rankin. He's going to follow suit.
Saved, by the way, by the 72 of Briggs, by the way. And look at Dave O to the lead. Dave Olgensack from Greenville, South Carolina for Team Nitro. The man has just had a great season. Leading, coming in as the high number 1 seeded point driver. 2 wins in 9 races out of 10 starts. 5 podiums, 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Stage points as well. And this man is the dominator. Had some hiccups on the start. When it's all said and done, Dylan, he's back in the saddle again. What's that Luke Combs song? Ironic, it's just in Texas.
Yeah, if there's ever a quote that you could say, he's got that dog in him. As we have another caution out
Logan
on the
Keyes.
speedway.
Logan Keyes has gone around. He won an X Series race a couple of weeks ago, and he's got a problem as it looks like he quickly crashes and retires to pit road. Lap 125. We're going to try to dissect it and find out what happened. And there it is. Yes. Whoa. And spins in front of others. Yeah, see, he left and retired to the pit lane and towed fast. There you go.
Yeah, I would have just threw the truck back in first gear and kept going. Nobody else hit you. Well, you seen how quickly Faulkner fell from first to sixth. If this is the time that you got those tires, Wes, I think this is the time when you got to take them. You're kind of running out of laps. If you got those tires, you might as well just go down and get them out of your way. Yes, there's going to be more cautions, but hey, you got to switch it up as best as you possibly can, as he's going to stay out this time by.
For sure.
Zach
Dylan,
Kerr's going to be able to get the lap wave around.
Dave-O will now wave around for Zach Kerr. So he's going to get one of his laps back. One time, Zach Kerr was strong. He was a contender in this thing.
Yeah, it's always about how it's always not about how you start. It's always about how you finish. And you know, Dave-O, Ben Faulkner didn't have the greatest start of the race, but look how they're finishing now. I mean, both in the top 10, both led laps. Dave-O trying to capitalize on his mistake earlier in the race, losing the front right quarter panel, getting all the damage fixed, going 1 or 2 laps down, getting those 2 laps back, and to be leading the race. You know, this is the I get if Dave-O was an underdog, this would be the greatest underdog story known for this season. You want to talk about a recovery? Dave-O is putting on a big recovery in that number 311.
Dylan, I just got a message, and look at this. By the way, there's the Chase drivers, as we've already showed this over and over again. And let me say this: guys like Ryan Barber or Holdsworth or Dinsley or Beaumont, Brandon Griffiths, for that matter, they might not be racing for the championship in the Chase, but they still are trying to win races, right? And they're doing well. You've got a shot. You got a shot. You got a chance to respect the Chase competitors, but also race amongst yourselves. And we're seeing the Trent Lavelle in the CT Electrical 62 truck, Al's truck, man. He's up there now in the top 10. Douglas with a strong top 10 as well, as we'll get ready to turn him back to green. Dylan, I just had somebody send this to me, and I wanted to pass this to all the men out there. And this is in regards of Kyle Loftus passing and anyone else. And it really just hit me when I just seen the message. But to all the men out there, Dylan, myself, anyone, Ding, I pray one day we can normalize men being able to say, I'm not okay with no judgment. I also pray for the day that we can normalize being able to say, hey, man, I love you, but you look like hell. Are you okay? Are you thinking about hurting yourself? With no judgment. We as men have to do better. The world has changed. It moves faster. The days of burying stuff are so far gone. If you're struggling, ask for help. It's okay to feel down and depressed. If it becomes who you are, that's a problem. And it's okay to talk to someone about it. And most importantly, as we get ready to go back to green, and I've always said this, you never know what people are going through. The way you treat somebody, the way we treat somebody, can brighten somebody's day or it can darken. Back to green at Texas with under 40 to go, Dylan. Hopefully people, the men out there, love those words, because that just brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with everything going on in the world, you know, everybody looks at it as like, oh man, got to be the men have to be the big, strong guys. Can't show any weakness, otherwise they get called, you know, little punks or this or that. But you know, it definitely puts you at a different perspective. You know, you never know what everybody's going through. All you can do is sit there, ask, and listen. It takes 2 minutes to sit there and listen to somebody talk and see what they are going through. And it may not mean much to you or me, but it means the world to them. So for that, everybody should always have one person that they can look up to and be like, hey, you know what, I can count on this person to sit there, talk to me whenever I need it, and have a little bit of a safe space as we are back green with 37 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Take this thing to the finish. And with 37 to go. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm a little tear in my eye. A little tear came down, brother. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm about to share it on my Facebook wall. 131 of 167. Dave-O in the lead. Dubin second. Mickelmore third. 1, 2, 3, and 4. As these guys, Rankin, Faulkner, set them off. Top 5, single file. All this going on again as we're still door to door.
Yeah, Faulkner trying to find each and every little bit of way to get around Scott Rankin, but I don't think he's got the tire width to do it. As it sits right now, Ben Faulkner up to the outside. Scott Rankin down on the inside. He's going to pinch him off of the exit, make Scott Rankin run a little bit of a different line, and caution flag out this time by. We're going to see exactly what happened here. Jason Holdsworth, end of line in the pits, whatever he's got to do. And I believe the 8 machine got involved in it as well, maybe taking evasive maneuvers down to the inside, going through the pits. So that's why I said end of longest line for Jason Holdsworth. But some damage
One
to
of
the number
those
52.
Project 36 trucks as well. Watch this right there. Lavelle to the end. Oh, yeah. Trent Lavelle into the 52. There he goes. Oh, Lawford. What a tough break, man.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Jason Holdsworth got caught slowing down, got shunted into the shadow realm down to the inside. That's why he got the end of longest line. But luckily for them, they'll be able to clear that black flag due to him getting pushed down into pit road. So he doesn't have to worry about serving that black flag. But there you see it. Trent Lavelle comes up the racetrack, tags the 52. Oh, we got pit stops. Pit stop. Oh, here we go, Wes. This is what I was talking about. Let's see if he's got tires. Oh, he missed his pit box. Dave-O goes down pit road.
It stops, man. Money stops, brother. Money stops. Remember what I told you about saving a set of tires? Remember that, Dylan McDonald? And we're seeing this now.
And this is that money stop, Wes. You know, you're coming around to take
Yes, sir.
almost 20 laps to go here in this race. And I think this is what Ben Faulkner and Dave-O was really waiting for. Them two both waiting and, you know, looking at everybody going down into pit lane. Dave-O taking 4 tires. Everybody that went down pit road either had repair or took tires. And looking at it now, where's his name? Ben Faulkner. Doesn't even show him on there. Last pit stop info. Ben Faulkner. Yeah, so Ben Faulkner. So Ben Faulkner ended up taking up tires that last pit stop. So definitely going to see what ends up happening here. Is looking at it now. Ben Faulkner, it says didn't take tires, but he did take tires.
By the way, who else has an extra set? You know, because here's the deal, Dylan. We might have seen guys come down to the pit lane, and they might have just took tires only, right? I mean, you know, you could see somebody. And by the way, who might have 2 tires left, Dylan. There's something we really even talked about. Who might have 2 tires left? Who might save 2 tires and put on rights to make a push, because you know you're going to use up your right side tires more than the left side tires.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you got to save your tires when you can. Oh, here we go. The 300 games. Here we go. Listen, I shot 2 299s in the season, so I'm happy with it as it sits right now. But as it sits, looks like Brad Newman able to get a really good restart on that inside lane, able to get away from Scott Rankin, who now takes over P number 2. But we're going to have to keep our eyes on the number 28 in the 311, who both took tires at the end of that caution, and see how quickly they can get up here with 32 laps to go in tonight's race.
Into the corner, here they come, working off turn 2, back straightaway. Newman in front. Boy, look at that whole hungry pack of wolves behind them. 30 to go. Sideways. Oh my goodness, it's Faulkner. Faulkner in trouble. Angus Lawford, black flag. Lawford on the gas, he saves it. So does Faulkner. My God almighty, we stay green. No caution, 30 to go. They're in turn 1.
Yeah, not sure exactly what happened to Ben Faulkner there, but as we looked at it, looked like they were about almost 4 wide going through a corner, and thankfully the turn 1 and 2 at Texas is a lot wider than it looks. He was able to get that car, able to get it straightened back out, and he's able to keep it off the wall. But here comes Brandon Chooch Griffiths, currently sitting at P number 5. As it sits, not battling for a championship here tonight, but top 3 going to be all playoff drivers. Then you got Beaumont, Griffiths, and then you got 2 more playoff drivers with Riley Curtis and Tom Freer making his way back up to the top 10.
Side by side behind the top 6 that are single file, as Newman is in the lead. Mickelmore, look at Rankin now, trying to get all their pawn chess pieces in order.
We'll see it here. I would love to see Josh Mickelmore come through and get a race win, but I'd also love to see Brad Newman finally break through, get his race win as well. Huge could potentially come through and get a win. Same with Victor Beaumont. I mean, you know, it's anybody's race, Wes. I don't care who wins as long as they make it a remarkable finish to the end. Dave-O. All things considered, Dave-O could have the best tires of the field, but if we get more cautions, Wes, those tires are going to even back out, and then everybody's going to be even again.
Working into the corner, time is running out now, closing in on 25 laps to go. My screen froze up. I don't know what's going on.
As it keeps going now, Josh Mickelmore currently sitting second, but here comes Dave-O slicing his way up through the field. Currently sitting P number 4, looking to make a way around P number 3 as a caution flag comes out once again on the racetrack.
Yep.
Is Trent Lavelle getting involved once again?
Caution out. Trent Lavelle going around here. This is lap number 144. 24 laps to go. Look at this. And this is, Trent Lavelle, Zach Kerr, Faulkner. Wow.
Ben Faulkner getting involved on that one. Not what you want to see with the number 28. Man, oh man. I can tell you now, Wes, that 28's thinking this race needs to hurry up, be over so he can get over to Watkins Glen next week.
Watch this again. This was Zach Kerr, Trent Lavelle, and then Faulkner. And nowhere to go for the chase driver. Faulkner just shot right up into the wall. And a tough break there. Trent Lavelle at one time, Dylan, was in the top 10. Zach Kerr was leading in the race earlier. And now these guys kind of, have their own little moment, take each other out, if you will, down the back straightaway.
Yeah, you can see there in that replay that we ended up just seeing there, Wes. Trent Lavelle all over the back bumper of Zach Kerr. Got him a little bit loose, got to his outside, got him even more loose, kind of pushed up into Trent Lavelle, then Trent Lavelle pushed up into Ben Faulkner. And once you lock together like that, it's pretty much just you're along for the ride. Hate to see it for Ben Faulkner. He was having such a great run towards the end of this race, potentially looking at his first win in the series, even in the playoffs, but that's going to have to wait until possibly next week or the weekend after, as the pit stops happening once again. Everybody going down pit lane that is towards the back, and it's going to be Fitzroy Beaumont leading these drivers away off of pit lane as everybody just trying to get through tonight's race here at Texas.
Newman, Bicklemore, Olden, Zach, Freer, Dinsley, top 5. All this going on now as we are closing in. 21 laps to go at the line.
As you see there, down on the race recap.
Hey guys, I don't know if you realize this as well, Dylan. We got 21 laps to go. Time is running out as well.
Yeah, there's definitely.
I don't know who set the timer for this race, but they set it for under 2 hours. On Tuesday, they went 2 hours and I think 20 minutes or 2 hours and 30 minutes, and they still were not able to go the distance. The clock ran out. And now here we are again. We're under 20 to go when we're at 20 laps to go when we come back to green, and there's 5 minutes left to go on the clock. Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, definitely going to have to make your moves when you can and get as many of these laps done as you can. Obviously, not going to be able to get the full 20 laps in under regulation, but still, you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to see who's going to be able to get this race win. Time is a virtue as it sits right now for a lot of these drivers. Can Brad Newman hold off Dave O and Micklemore and Freer, Dinsley, Kute, Dow? Or is it going to be somebody from the back getting this race win? It doesn't matter where you are. You can get the race win whatever position that you're in.
We will come to 20 laps to go. Clock is down to 4.5 minutes remaining.
Look at 29-second lap times with 4.5 minutes left to go. Yeah, you could probably maybe 10, 12 laps under green flag conditions here at Brad Newman. Led everybody back to the green flag here at Texas. Dave O all over the back bumper. Josh McMore not letting Dave O go as it sits right now, but here comes Tom Freer down to the inside trying to make a rain. on the number 31, and here comes Dave O to the inside. New race leader, Dave O, and the number 311 getting around Brad Newman, making quick and light work of the number 1 machine. Brad a little bit loose coming off to number 3 and 4.
Under 20 remaining, back to green. Look at Dave-O from the high side, back to the bottom. Freer will follow. Gensley now back down low. Look at now Newman. And we got him wrecking. Blundell spins. Crashing Briggs. Briggs and Project 36 trucks in the wall. They're still crashing. Rankin involved. Beaumont clearing by. Dancing on the binders. The big one has just happened here, and this pretty much just put the nail in the coffin here at Texas.
Yeah, that's going to be
Wow.
potentially the end of this race after all these caution laps. They'll see the green-white checker to potentially going all the way through. Timo Blundell. Yeah, it's going to be the number 86. There it is. Oh, looks like Jamie Davis gets into the side of the number 86 machine going through turn number 1 and 2. He's going to have a great run to the backstretch. See it there. Jamie Davis down on the inside. He got, I think that's Brad Wright on his out. And there it is. A little bit of a contact there. Battling towards the back. Adam Gray getting involved. Fitzroy Beaumont, Scotty Rankin, Aaron Dorman. A lot of drivers getting involved here towards the back.
Okay. This again, there's the bang, 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 bang. Look at the track blocked, nowhere to go. My goodness, man. And the clock and the caution out here with 90 seconds remaining. I mean, this race is pretty much over. And how about this? Dave Oljanczak crashed out early, stayed in the back, worked his way through the field, and Nitro is going to find himself from Greenville, South Carolina, as the winner of Chase race number 1, his 3rd win of the season. Unbelievable, Dylan. Wow.
Yeah, obviously with time constraints being here at Texas Motor Speedway, not having the allotted time getting all the way in and through the remainder of this race, Dave O going to be able to, like you said, get away his 3rd win of the season. Tom Freer looking to capitalize on a 2nd place finish, possibly. And then Brad Newman finishing P3 here tonight.
Clock is expiring. We are down to 0. And the bottom line is this: when that pace truck comes onto pit road, this time by, the field will see the checkered flag on the restart, because this race is over. Time is gone. 16 laps, make it 15 to go at the line. This race is over. The pace truck will do its job. Peter, the pace truck driver, will bring the pace truck onto the pit lane, and the field will then cross the line. Dave Oljanczak will bring the field. They'll bring the field to green. And Dave O, Dylan McDonald, the problems he had, got caught up in a wreck to start the night. Remember, frustrated, fell to the back, thought he went a lap down or so, had to fight to get back in this thing. And then he just started to climb and climb and climb and climb. He's in the hunt. The clock expires. Gets around at the right time. And he is going to win here. Ladies and gentlemen, Pace Truck is in. Here comes the field coming down to the line. The checker flag will fly. This race is over.
Yeah, Dave O getting the race win here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Tom Freer finishing second, with third being Brad Newman on the field. As everybody getting what they need to do is looking at it right now. Podium finishers. Dave-O with the race win, Tom Freer in second, and then Brad Newman finishing out your top three as it sits right now, but still a good race to call, even though it ended under time.
Well, another yellow flag ending the race on time. And I know that's something that the Australian NASCAR series, they've got to work on that. And it's not just the series in general. Dylan, we can say it's the series, it's the sanctioning, but it's the drivers. It's the way these guys are out here raining each other. They're running the clock down themselves because you could have possibly been able to go the distance, but there was too many cautions there at the end. Was there not as many cautions as the night before? With the X Series, no, but still, clock runs out, grains of sand run out, time things over. So here we go. It is Dave Olgenczak coming back and winning. We're going to talk to him in a moment. Tom Freer, Brad Newman, top three, all different teams, by the way. Nitro, Synergy, Lobs, all coming up. Dinsley, Micklemore, Barber, Kute Dow, Wright, Beaumont, Gray, your top 10 here in Texas, Dylan.
Starting in 11th is going to be Brandon Chooch Griffiths in 11th. 12th is going to be Scott Rankin. 13th, Riley Curtis, Shane Bowen, Zach Kerr, Ruben Phelps, Kelvin Clark, Angus Lawford, Chris Bleakley, and Aaron Dormer running out your top 20.
Blundell, that's Brian and Timo, followed by Matt Danson, Adam Briggs, Blake Fitz, Holdsworth, Poleman finishes in the top 25, top 30 for that matter, 26, Dave Douglas, Jamie Davis, Ben Faulkner, Trent LaBelle, he'll all be in the top 30.
Looking at it right now, Logan Kais, Andy Barber, Billy Mole, Aaron Borg, Jared Gilbert, Gary Wellman, Ross Armour, and Jeffrey Sinclair running out your 38 car field, all multiple laps down and or took their cars behind the wall. But that's going to do it for the race here tonight. We're going to take a quick commercial break, get the top three in the broadcast booth, get their opinions of tonight's race, and we'll be right back after these quick messages.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here with our top three. Going to start off with our first place finisher. That's going to be Dave O in the number 311. Dave, you battled adversity from lap number 1 all the way to lap number 152, but able to come away with the race win. You were 2 laps down at one point. What was your mindset going into tonight's race after that first lap caution?
Survive the rest. I had a lot of incidents. I think I was at 13 by the second time I nosed the inside wall. I was at 13, so really just on eggshells there from there on, trying to not get the black flag for the drive-through. But yeah, just a tough one. Chaos. I would have much preferred the Tuesday night race. Better points night, but we'll take a good recovery here. Just shout out to Nitro Racing, Johnny Taylor, HeFinder.net, the ModSquad.info, and BMK Logistics.
Hey,
Your
Dave.
admin,
Dave, what a bounce back! What a bounce back! Obviously, what happened last week at Pocono, and then of course having problems to start the race, working your way to win this thing. What does that mean to you here? Obviously,
it's good, right? It's a salvage. I think it's 30, maybe 36 points. I think I got one, maybe two stage points. Not ideal for the chase here. Would have much preferred a Tuesday night scenario where I get stage points and then finish second, third, fourth, somewhere in that range. So we'll take it, move on.
Yeah, well, either way, congratulations on the race win here tonight. You've already thanked your sponsors for tonight's race, but Dave-O, can't wait to see what you bring next week to Watkins Glen. Try to enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll be hopefully talking to you next week.
Thanks.
Now on to our second place finisher. That's going to be Tom Freer. Today's Tom Sawyer, I guess you could say. That's going to be the number 41. Tom, you kind of weren't in the conversation at all this entirety of the race, but there towards the end of the race, you started making your way up towards the front. What more did you need? What less did you want to see out of tonight's race and get yourself up to there into that first position for that number 41 machine?
Yeah, well, being 2 laps down by lap 8 isn't ideal, but salvaged something, came back through. Nitro track was fast, and yeah, just pretty happy to get something from it. Obviously, some stage points would have been nice. I've got a bit of ground to make up, but it is what it is. Second, can't complain.
Freer got kind of wild out there, didn't it? What was the key of trying to just move through the field, stay out of trouble, and salvage a second place finish here?
Honestly, it was just take any run you get. The car was pretty aero tight for me, but in the last stop I did, I managed to tune it up a little bit and got a little bit better. So I just said to myself, every time I get a run, I'm going to take it. And yeah, if I ship someone up the hill a little bit, that's what it is. But luckily for me, I was able to clear people fairly easily at the end. I had a little tire offset too, which probably helped. And yeah, it's just a bit disappointing to go time certain again, but you can't complain with second, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You finished P2 here tonight. Get ready to start off your championship run. If there's anybody on that number 41 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, Tom, the floor is now yours.
Yeah, obviously, it's a big thanks to the Speedway shop, Works Racing Components, Soot Speed, obviously Nitro Racing as well. They built another weapon car this week, and yeah, just big thanks to all those guys.
All right, that's going to do it for our second place finisher of the number 41, Tom Freer. Moving on to our third place finisher, Bad Brad, the man who led the majority of tonight's race, ended up coming home P number 3. Brad, you stayed out of the way for the most part. You led a lot of these races. You kept your nose clean. But there towards the end, the new tires played the part of where you didn't want to be at. What more did you want to see out of that number 1 machine, and what more did you need to have to keep everybody else behind you in those closing laps?
Thanks, mate. Like you said, probably just a set of new tires, but I took the gamble, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Is what it is.
Without having your Lobs teammates there, how different was it for you racing, sir?
Not too different, really. I mean, I'm used to being alone in the truck series, so it's just sort of how I go racing. Some of the Nitro guys are pretty good to work with tonight, so not too different, really.
Well, sir, you come home with the third place finish here, padding up some more points, got a stage win under your belt. If there's anybody on that number 1 machine to let it give a shout out to, Mr. Bad Brad, the floor is now yours.
Thank you. Just you guys putting the event on. JT from Nitro, car was quick tonight, and the guys at Lobs Esports. Thank you.
Well, that was our top 3 in the broadcast booth, giving us their perspective of tonight's race. Time constraints stopped it due to no more time left on the clock, but 152 laps out of 167. Almost got all the way through this race here tonight, but still, an amazing race throughout the run. A couple long green flag runs, more caution than we intended to have, but still a lot of lead changes all the way in and through the top 10 in the top of the field. But man, can't wait to see what next weekend has to bring, as Watkins Glen, no caution is going to be called out there on the racetrack.
The only time that the yellow flag will be thrown is for the stages, obviously, at lap 20 and 40. And, of course, taking it to the finish of the race. So, Watkins Glen should be interesting. Remember, the X Series and trucks for the Chase Round 2 will be there on the Highline HQ broadcasting next week. So, enjoy the rest of your night and weekend, everybody. Want to say a big thank you to CT Electrical. You can follow them on Facebook at CT Electrical Bathurst, and we appreciate him, Mr. Trent Lavelle, as always, sponsoring the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. But yeah, Dylan, another wild week in the books. They got to find a way to get these races to the checkered flag, not time constraints, right? And I think they will. They got some things to figure out. They'll get it going. But all in all, good way to start the chase onto the road course next week.
Absolutely can't wait to see what Watkins Glen has to offer. But that's going to do it for myself and Wesley Outland up in the broadcast booth. Dave Hopton running the cameras in the production trailer, and everybody out here giving us a show. That's going to do it for myself and Wes up in the broadcast booth. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.